You know how we always talk about time management? Well, I've learned to think about it a tad bit differently. We can actually not manage time. It keeps moving no matter what we do. But what we can do is steward it. Stewardship means caring for it, being intentional with it, and choosing how we spend it. So today I want to share how shifting from time management to stewardship helps me focus on what really matters, remove the things that don't, and live more content and calm after learning this hack. Are you sitting in front of a pile full of tasks for your business, family, household, and everything else to do, and long for that to go away? The trick is creating passive income. Of course, there's some work behind the passive part, but working 20% compared to 120 completely turned around how I enjoy life today. Great to have you here. Are you ready to move the needle, work less, and earn more? Grab your latest craft project and your favorite drink. Let's stitch together purpose, profit, and peace to create the life we've long been wanting. We might have some time to share some of my automation hacks too. That saves me hours every week. Let's see how that goes. But first, let me ask you, what do you think is the number one excuse that I hear when people want to start an online business, but then they have a long list of roadblocks? You probably guessed it already. I don't have the time. But if they just started that online business with intention, that could help them with their problem, which is not having time in their current situation in the first place. They could reach the time freedom they really want. It's as if they think they've been given fewer hours in the day than everyone else. But here's a bit more truth. To get more time, you need to put in the time. You have to do things others aren't willing to do, because that's what creates the results that others won't get. And just to show you what's possible, let me share a few examples from our community. They do the same business that I do. For instance, Precious is a mother of 4, and they were all under the age of 8, if I remember correctly, when she started. She's a nurse by profession, but she would have had to redo her qualification in order to work in her new home country or her new country of residence. So she got started with the online business, and she created little pockets of time to work on it while the kids were napping. And on top of that, she had kept it a secret from her husband for almost a year because he didn't want her to do it. And she couldn't work in the evenings when he was home. So she really had to steward the time she had. But she believed strongly in the business the entire time, and she never wavered. Her husband started believing once he saw her results after that year. Now, after 5 years or so, she's closer to 7 figures in a year, and her first 6-figure year was not that long ago. And she's at a place that she never would have been if she had been in an employed position. Then you have people like Dina or June or Lyra and so many other burnt out nurses and mothers working double shifts regularly, night shifts, had a side job, even 2 side jobs, and still they were dedicated to being consistent with what they need to build a successful online business. Sometimes small steps, but compounded efforts build up, and that's what creates success. Many of them could completely stop the double shifts, the extra jobs, and some decided to leave and be present fully for their children once they surpassed the earnings of the regular job they had. And one very inspiring story is a humble and powerful couple who found themselves standing on the street, almost 6 figures of consumer debt, and very little hope to pay that back in a reasonable time, if at all, let alone help their parents and family back home, which was what they really wanted to do since a very long time. They gave the business their all, sold the car, got a more reasonable one, the extra iPads and other gadgets, and worked from extra jobs at night and on the weekend, saved where they could just so they can go all in with the same online earning option that I have. They intentionally used the time outside of their jobs to work on their business and wasted no time. Within a little over 2 years, both of them had quit their jobs as they were earning more and thriving in the business. They had their dream consistently in mind, fully believing they could reach it and doing the consistent actions that would get them there. Visualization is a good driver. They reach the goals they set out for, including retiring mom and financially supporting ministries. These are all real people with real challenges who choose to steward their time differently. They didn't magically get more hours. They subtracted habits that did not support their vision and used the hours that they had with intention. And that's what I want to dig in today. Let's start with the question, what time is it really? Now that's the standard question. What time is it? Often accompanied with a feeling of sudden stress that I should be somewhere at a certain time. But a better question is, what is it time for? This one simple shift makes you more present, more intentional, and it actually reduces the feeling of stress. For example, if you set aside an afternoon block for focus, then that's what it's time for. Phone out of the room, alarm set for 45 minutes, head down. When the alarm rings, you know you have time to get to that next appointment with no stress. Another time, if you've got only 15 minutes before you need to leave the house, don't waste it scrolling. Grab your list of quick wins, short tasks that you can knock out in that time. More on that in a minute. So every action step forward compounds over time. No frantic bursts or a one-time action and then wait and see what happens, but sustainable, repeated actions. That is what actually moves the needle. And to be honest with yourself here, how often do you let "I'm tired" or "I'll just rest a little while after coming home" or whatever it may be, it can turn into hours wasted. And sure, you need to rest. But is that scroll through social media really rest? Or would doing one intentional thing that moves you closer to your dream make you actually feel better than the supposed rest? So think about that. Be careful not to let how you feel in the moment, though, dictate your future. I know what I'm talking about. That road leads to a dead end. So many people live this way. I was one of them. I gave my feelings too much credit. But with practice, you can remove old habits and replace them with new ones that support the life you really want. So how do we do practical stewardship? Everyone has the same 24 hours. We figured that out. It's not about squeezing more in. It's about cutting away the time wasters that disguise themselves as have-tos, should-dos, or just a quick check on social media. Think of your planner as an empty plate. You get to choose what you want to put on it. Start with the things that you can't avoid, like your job, school pickups, appointments. Then add blocks for what really matters to reach your goals. Creative work, content, admin, family and recreation, and rest, of course. Maybe set a specific time daily to set blocks for other tasks. Then there might be less self-talk asking you if you should procrastinate and do it later. Just do it when it's planned. And here's a little trick. Keep a list of things that you can do when you only have those 10 or 15 minutes of empty time. With ADHD mixed with brain fog, thank you, menopause, I need this kind of backup list so I don't waste time trying to remember the important quick things that I could get done. I just have to look at my phone widget of Trello and I can choose from that list. Your list might look like this. Jotting down ideas for social posts or email campaigns for your business. Collecting and noting down stories for your next blog or podcast or post. Sending a quick message to check in with your community or group. Decluttering your workspace could be helpful because that helps your brain to focus later when you sit down to do focus work. Or listening to a short business podcast or one about mindset and work on your belief system, which is very important. Most people know Henry Ford. He created the first automotive company. He said, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. Either way. But choosing to believe in yourself that you can is a must-have to succeed in anything. The point with this list is that you're still moving forward, even in small pockets of time. Also, work with your energy and not against it. If you focus best in the afternoons, don't waste that time folding laundry. Laundry can wait until later, or be done when you're half asleep in the morning. Your big goals that require focus shouldn't have to wait. And of course, remove distractions. Put the phone in another room. Keep your browser tabs grouped in folders and closed. Do you know about browser tabs? They're great. It's one of my favorite things to use. I get to websites quickly and very efficiently. Then we can move forward and remove time stealers, the sneaky little things that eat away at our hours. Think about this. Every minute you give in to a time stealer, you're sacrificing something of higher value. That in itself is actually not sacrifice in a bad way, but you're choosing to get something more valuable. Here are a few common ones, which we all know. Number 1, social media. The average person spends 4 to 5 hours a day scrolling. Can you imagine that? Even if it would be 2 hours, it's still too much. Imagine what you could build in a business with even half that time. Number 2, being unorganized. Living and working around clutter wastes time and mental energy. Number 3, lacking clear goals. Without them, it's easy to drift off, to procrastinate, and to lose focus. And number 4, multitasking. Everybody used to demand it when you were applying for a job. Today, you don't see it so often on a job description. It feels productive, but it's actually costing you time and even more mental capacity to switch between the things. Switching back and forth drains energy. It's not helpful. Simple tasks like folding laundry while listening to a podcast, sure, but don't split your brain between two big things that need your active mind. There are many, many more specific little habits that we do that we can be weaned off from. Something to think about. So consider 2 or 3 time stealers that you might be able to cut back on right now. Would it really be a sacrifice to do that? Or maybe it would actually be a relief? So go ahead and create your personal list. We talked about some automation hacks that save time. We can go through these quickly, but I really think that we can set up an entire episode on this so we can get really in and talk about the details to help people set them up. But the ones that most people do know but sometimes don't follow anyway is number 1, automated emails. Have repetitive message and templates and autoresponders on so that you don't have to send them out manually. Number 2, pre-schedule social posts. Finish the cycle while you're in it. So create, design, and schedule instead of leaving things half done and going back to it later. Similar to multitasking. You're wasting time by leaving it half done, but it's effective. Number 3, saved responses and templates. There are specific apps like boards or canned responses and for FAQs and common replies and one-click tasks. It's very quick with apps like that. Number 4, quick entry widgets. I love using Trello for this or any other kind of similar app. I drop ideas quickly into a new card list, then sort them later. They come in all in the same place, and then I can go through them, fix them up, and put them in the proper card they need to be on. It keeps me from losing thoughts, and it keeps my focus where it needs to be. There's other ideas like, we know these, but still, a reminder is good. Use grocery pickup or delivery. Batch your errands together. Women know how to do that. Automate bill payments and use voice-to-text notes while walking or driving. There's X amount of things that you could have on that list. Remember that automation or even outsourcing some things isn't about skipping important tasks. It's about freeing yourself up to do what only you can do. Think time with family, for example. So let's quickly recap. Number 1, think of yourself as a steward of time, not a manager of it. Steward it well. Number 2, ask, what is it time for, to live with more intention. Number 3, use time blocks and focus containers that match your energy for that time of day. Being in a flow state is not just effective, but it speeds up and it is efficient. Number 4, automate wherever you can. Set alarms for reminders, templates, idea capture. Let's remind ourselves that time is a gift. It's probably the biggest gift we can have. Steward it with intention, and it will serve you instead of running you ragged. Even small changes like removing one distraction or setting up one automation can make a big difference. Imagine what might happen if you tried 3 changes this week. You need practice to stick with the new habits, so be intentional, but keep practicing. Have fun with it and notice what shifts. I'd love to hear from you what you chose. I can see most comments, especially on the big pod players, so shoot me a message what you chose, and I look forward to see who dares to write what that was. I hope this episode helped you move forward toward your goals and dreams, and that inspired you in some way. If it did, please do share it with a friend, and it would help me greatly if you would like to leave a review on the show. Have a look online at vikija.info, where you can find out more about the online business system I chose to run alongside my knitwear business. And that changed everything for me. That's vikija.info. There's a link and more info in the show notes. I'd be happy to mentor you every step of the way. Keep your heads up and take consistent steps forward with your eyes on the prize. And remember, mindset is the largest factor for success. See you next time and be blessed.